Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to This Week in Dioramas. I am your host, TechChucker. If you aren't familiar with how this show operates, every week I go through Instagram looking for the coolest looking dioramas, and I showcase them right here on the show. If you'd like to be showcased in a future episode, all you gotta do is upload your diorama pictures to Instagram and tag them with the hashtag ThisWeekInDioramas. We got an awesome showcase lined up for you for basically the last episode of summer. Maybe last week's was the last episode of summer. My kids are already back at school. That's a good and bad thing. I am super happy to have the house basically empty throughout the day, but I already kind of miss them. So I don't know. How is your first week of school, if it happens to be school for your kids? I don't know. Just let me know how your fall is going. My fall is going great, but what's going even better is all of the dioramas. Again, make sure that you are using that hashtag on Instagram, This Week in Dioramas, and you can also follow the hashtag. That way then you can see all of the amazing work that everybody is putting out every week. And also go to Facebook and join the Diorama HQ Facebook group. It's a great place for you and I to be able to share information about dioramas. Maybe you want to showcase a new piece that you've worked on, show some work in progresses. Maybe you have a question that you need the community to answer. By all means, you can share it there. And if somebody happens to be asking questions, you can answer questions there as well. So go join the Diorama HQ. There will be a link in the description below. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get started with this week's showcase because we've got some really awesome dios to show. Starting off first with Novel Creation 73. This is a work in progress. Oftentimes I like to showcase final completed projects, but sometimes some work in progresses slip in there as well. And this one is looking particularly good. I like all of the textures that you've got going with all of the different types of brick and stone and what have you. You got a nice door here. This barn door style looks awesome. I just think that this is looking pretty darn good. And I especially like what you've got down here. That looks really good. It's a very unique style. And then we've got it circled with an actual sidewalk. All of this is looking really impressive. We've got tombstone here. Perfect figure for a diorama like this. Obviously it's tombstone cycles. That's awesome. I think this is going to be great. It's a work in progress, so I can't wait to see what it looks like when it is completed because it already looks really good. Next, coming from, how are we going to say that? Quebec Diorama. It's Quebec Diorama, so it's done. First dio, let's back it up. It's their first 2-wall dio. Let's see, 12 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch. That's something that I definitely recommend to new diorama creators is start small and work your way up. Start with a base, then start with a base and a wall, then go to a wall, 2 walls and a base. This is great. It's great progress. I love that you took a stab at some graffiti. This Deadpool looks awesome. You really did a good job on that. The brickwork, I think what I would like to see, throw some washes on there to bring it down a little bit. These accent pieces or the accent bricks are looking great, but if you throw some washes on, really thin washes, you can make that look even more realistic. But the door looks awesome with this. You've got a nice stoop here, some great looking little garbage bags. All of that is adding to this looking great. You get some nice lighting in here. You're gonna have a great piece for taking some pictures or being displayed up on a display shelf somewhere. But again, always keep taking an extra step on your paintwork. It looks great. You can make it even better. And I hope that people are okay when I give some suggestions. It never, ever means that I think that something doesn't look good. I'm not gonna showcase a diorama that I don't think looks good. That's just how I am. I showcase pieces that I think look good, and I might give some recommendations as to how you might be able to take it up a step. And I think you definitely have the ability to do it. If this is the style that you want, by all means, keep it that way. So there you have it. I am enjoying it very much. So great job on this piece. Next, coming from Stephanie Bonti. I think last time I showcased her, I think she said I pronounced I think you said I pronounced your last name right. I hope I'm still pronouncing it right. So this piece is from, okay, so this is what the Queen Anne cabinet movie prop looks like finished in its totality. So this is a diorama piece that was made for a movie. How amazing is that? Some of you creators out there are doing some absolutely stunning work, and you're getting noticed, and you're working in movies and art somewhere. And I think that's absolutely amazing. This piece looks so cool. So this is like a curio cabinet type display piece that's built into this cabinet, but it's of diorama stuff. And this is just so amazing looking. Look at the detail. We've got a building here. We've got different layers. There's a little lake river sort of thing, and I think that might be a waterfall down there. The trees look amazing. I just am so impressed with your work, and it's so unique. And how cool, again, I go back to the fact this is being used as a prop to help decorate feels like the wrong word, to set a scene in a movie. How amazing is that? That's so cool. So congratulations on getting your work put into a legit movie. That's awesome. You know what? I can say this. We're all proud of you. Everybody should be proud of one another when there's success. So great job on this. Always impressed with these. All right, we are coming next with Styrosmith Dio Arts. Ignore the light going crazy in the background. Yes, I have not gotten it replaced. I haven't figured out what RGB light I want and how much I want to spend on them. They can get kind of expensive, so just deal with the flashing in the background. Anyway, we are working with Styrosmith Dio Arts. This is a Gotham City two-side display. Finished this little display for Gotham Master Detective Mr. Wayne. Recycled my foam scrap box and used what I find. Big thanks to my buddy Norden Costume. He built the freaking awesome clown thugs for me. And wow, perfect match for this project. So if you aren't familiar with Styrosmith Dio Arts' work, where the heck have you been? He does amazing pieces, and I love the details that he puts in throughout. Just look at these cool little accent pieces. They're so detailed and so cool looking. And the brickwork is just so absolutely awesome looking. There's great little accessories on the top here with some trash bags and other pieces. And he's right, these little clown figures, so it's like almost looks like it's a Jared Leto Joker look to the face, but that looks awesome. And this is a two-sided diorama. So the bottom side, you can see Batman is crashing through. He's already taken down this clown. And this is amazing. I mean, it's so well put together. Love the way that the glass looks. It's just broken so perfectly. You did a great job with it. And now if we scroll through, look at this little video. This is so cool. The paint apps look so good. The sculpt, you can see that it's got brick on top with a little bit of inside there. But look at how much is going on in here. There's so much story to this piece. That is so incredible. I love the way that that looks. The transition from one side to the other, the action that you've got with the actual Batman figure looks so good. Let's go through some more of these pictures because I'm just really impressed with your work. Every single time you put stuff out, it looks amazing. There's so much detail in these small little 1/12 scale dioramas. Look at all this. We got a wine bottle, couple of wine bottles. They look legit. This is so cool. I am really, really digging on this piece. Every time you put out just amazing work. Next, coming from Diorama Genie. So this is a piece that looks like they sold, inspired by a gem mine in Sri Lanka, a gift to a gem lover. So let's see, DM us now for customized order. Again, anybody that watches the show is invited to contact any of these creators via DM to see if they will be able to do a custom diorama for them. I'm sure nearly everybody would just be honored to get, contacted by somebody who loves their work and would like to commission something. This is a really cool piece. So this is a gem mine down in Sri Lanka, and this is just really cool. It's very unique. I've never seen a diorama showcased on the show like this, and that's what I love about this show is every week there's something different to be able to showcase. And this is very cool. So look at, we can see the mine shaft coming down, and then we've got the tunnels down below. Some nice lighting in here, some great looking rocks. That is super cool. So these pictures are taken, I believe, by the customer. This is super cool. Look at that. With some better light here, we can see the rock, the stone, the little water pool looks so good. Dang, the tree looks awesome. So great job. Always love seeing a piece that went to a happy customer. Great, Scott. We've got another one. This one's coming from Villar Dioramas. Let's see. That needs to move out of the way. My version of the clock tower from 1985 Back to the Future movie. The Panthers and weathercock were printed on a Creality Ender 3 printer. The clock is a functional clock. That's awesome. So I have a Creality Ender 3 printer, and if you get the settings just right, you can get some really nice detail. And then where you don't get the detail, you get the little lines and whatnot, you can fill that in with putty and whatnot, and then you can really get some nice looking prints. This looks awesome. I love the brickwork on the peak here, or the whatever that's called. The clock looks awesome. That looks awesome. It looks great. You can see these little accent pieces. I'm wondering if you added those or if that just came with the clock. How awesome when you can find something out in the real world and you can just use it and it works. These cats look so good. So if this was a 3D printer that did this, you either did a lot of sanding or you had to put some putty on to make them look so smooth. So that looks awesome. The paint apps look great. And look at this. This just looks so good. The weather vane, that is awesome looking. I am really digging on this piece. We've seen several Back to the Future dioramas with the clock tower. Everybody does it just a little bit differently. That's why I love when we can showcase pieces like this, because we see something a little bit different, a little take from each person. And look at this. We've got a little bit of bird poop. That's a nice extra detail to add into it. And I'm always a sucker for the infinite black backgrounds. That always makes a piece look that much more professional and epic, in my opinion. So great job on the diorama. I think it looks great. It's gonna look amazing up on a shelf. So great job. Next up, coming from Grim Spectre. Let's see, here it is, finished. I went crazy with dry brushing. I got inspiration for the main stone color from one of my favorite childhood castles, Castle Grayskull. This looks awesome. Now, you might look at it and be like, oh, that's simple. It's not. It is not simple. It is small, and yes, it's just basically a base and a wall with a door. But I think you did a great job. It is so cleanly done. I really like the way that you did this. You've got every edge finished, which is awesome. Always, always when you're doing a diorama, if you can finish every visible edge, please do, because it just does so much more for the effect that we're trying to go with, of trying to make something look real in miniature size. And I think you did a great job. I love the way that you've got these blocks, basically zigzag. What's the word? Anyway, you know what I mean. That looks awesome. The blocks look great. They've got some nice detail that are cut into it. It has a bit of a cartoon feel with the way that these, cuts and whatnot are in them, and I like that. It gives it almost a what's the Dragon Ball Z feel, but also Castle Grayskull, Masters of the Universe. A lot of things could go on here. Mythic Legions, any sort of action figures could go very well with this. The door looks awesome. I love the little bolts. Something you might consider with the bolts, unless these are meant to be wooden bolts, which is possible. If you can get some sort of like gunmetal gray or something darker, or even silver or brass or something, paint those a different color, and that's really gonna pop. And maybe put a handle, some sort of like circle handle or some sort of hardware so it looks like, but if this is the backside, it doesn't open, it pushes, then ignore what I'm saying. But those are just a couple of things that you could add, and that would just, bring it out even more. This next one coming from DMez Project. Let's see, this is a Diorama Warehouse number 4 diecast scale 1/64th Not sure what that is. I'm guessing this says to pre-order. It's 400 rupees. Is that the I don't know. This looks amazing. I love every little bit of this. It's so detailed, and I love the graffiti. This looks absolutely stunning, this graffiti. So my question is did you hand paint this? Is it airbrushed? Is it printed? Maybe when we get some more of the pictures, I'll be able to see specifically if this is a printout or if you actually painted it by hand. It looks awesome, and I love the color tones. But the rest of the buildings, they look so good. I love the way that you constructed them. The corrugated kind of tin awnings look great. Colors look awesome with the garage doors. These little cars, this is what, 1/64 scale? Yep, that's what it was. And then we got little patches of grass. So this is some sort of car shop that's out in the middle of nowhere almost. If they've got grass and there's little tufts of grass in between, that just looks awesome. So we got the tire tracks from all of the people probably spinning out and what have you. This just looks super cool. And we've got some lights, even better. That gives it a great ambiance for an evening style shot. Always love it. These little characters are very detailed. So I gotta know, do you buy them like this? Or are you making these? I don't know much about this scale and where these little mini figures. I know you can buy these little mini figures. I can't remember if they are painted already or not. So that's something, if you happen to watch the show, please in the comments, let me know. Next, coming from JP Davis, let's see, John Davis. We'll go with John Davis. That's what's in his profile. Commissioned warehouse diorama, finished exchangeable wall and movable pieces, 2 interchangeable LED lights as well. That's the key word, interchangeable. Another good word, modular. This piece looks like and sounds like it can be moved around a bit so that you can have a couple of different options. If we scroll through, I'm anticipating we'll see some of the different options. First though, let's look at this door. I love the blue color and the color variation that you have with the darker and the lighter. That really, really works. You did a great job with that. And then the little bits of rust that you got in different areas, again, looks awesome. I love it. The brickwork, very, very unique color, just with the, well, people are gonna be like, it's gray, it's not unique. It's different because we see lots of the times more reddish brown. I like seeing these gray bricks. It really stands out sometimes. And I think you did a great job. The tile here also looks awesome. It's very cleanly done, but the paint apps are just so good. I love the way that you've got the different variation, and then it's darker, especially around the grate. Those are the sorts of things that you look at things in real life and you see how and where those different patches of color are gonna be. And then you can put that into your work and it just stands out that much more. Great looking kind of brass piping up here. The windows have some nice what's the word? Grime. We'll call it, yeah, grime. This just looks awesome. I am really digging on this piece. So we've got a wall here. You can take that out, not have the door, and just have these two walls. Awesome. I am digging the options. We got these pipes can be moved over to here. That's also awesome. That's something that a photographer is just gonna love. To be able to have these different options. Everybody wants to have that. And it looks like you just hang it over the top. That's cool. Great job. Next, coming from, let's see, if we hover over Defo Art Diorama. What is Tamirane? I'm not sure if this is, I don't know, but it's a workbench and I really dig it. I think that this wall looks so good. It's kind of like a stucco almost. The color tones are really nice, especially with the little texture that you've got on here. You can see little darker spots, almost like there's a burnt umber kind of orangish. Is burnt umber? Can't remember if that's the burnt sienna. Anyway, this just looks really good. And then we've got the plaster or whatever has kind of peeled away around here. And this bench looks awesome. This olive-ish kind of green looks so good. All of these little tools are painted so nicely. Look at these wrenches. How freaking cool is that? Needle nose pliers, different pliers, little hammers. This is awesome. A vice grip. I think that's a vice grip. Little tool deal here. I bet you that's like a socket set. That is cool. I wonder what if this is dedicated to a person or what this is from. It's a film. It's a movie of some sort. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know who these people are. This guy looks familiar, but I'm not sure. But look how cool this is. The detail on this is just amazing. It's such small scale to have that kind of detail. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. So great job on this piece. Hopefully someone can let me know what film this is from, what country it's from. Because I'm really unsure. I don't like being unsure, but I also apparently don't go research stuff before I do the show enough. So, it is what it is, but awesome job. Great display piece. Next up, coming from JJ Kramer 0, just as I got onto the next one, my stupid light went off again. Anyway, it's the Sanctum Sanctorum exterior, and this looks awesome. We've seen several of Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum before, and every single time, again, it's a little bit different, but has the similarities. We've got this, the kind of well-known window. Brain is not thinking right. I really like the green, kind of, it's like a copper look to the rooftop, but look how clean these bricks are. That is so cleanly done. The windows look awesome. I am really digging on that. The stoop, the steps coming up, also looking great. The paint apps, the sidewalk looks great. Let's cycle through the pictures. We got a little light shining through there. That looks awesome. I'm just really impressed with this. It's a very epic piece. It's big, it's clean. So great job on it. I'm really impressed with it. You've done some pretty big pieces in the past too, and it's always very epic, so great job. Next, coming from Oiler's Workshop. If you're not familiar with Jordan, familiarize yourself with him. He is an absolutely amazing artist. He has his own YouTube channel, and he does some awesome videos where he'll show you how he's doing these different pieces. And this piece is just absolutely epic. He's working on another one, and it's just so cool. He brings you in to show you what he's doing. And I love it. This window or set of windows looks so cool. It's just, I need to go check to see, because I haven't watched every single one of his videos. I've fallen behind. I would love to see if he shows how he did these windows, because it looks so good. I love the paint apps. You can see that there's some really nice detail with the kind of vertical striping that he did with that paint. And then the top piece that kind of caps it off looks awesome. So again, if you aren't familiar with him and his YouTube channel, it's Oiler's Workshop. Go check him out. Make sure you're following his Instagram. He is a fun guy. He's got a good personality. Just a good guy. I did, when I was trying to do my interview / guest appearance diorama show on This Week in Dioramas, he was one of the first to join me. I think he was the second. I had him and Diorama, and I tried to do a show with El Chambo. The El Chambo one, the technical issues. Anyway, maybe someday I'll bring it back. It's hard to bring a guest on and record him and all that. So, but I'm rambling. Go check him out. Go check out his channel and follow him. Next up, coming from Tiny Mini Miniatures, Old House Door Diorama. This model is 17 centimeters high, 21 centimeters wide, so that's not super big, fairly small. I really like the brickwork that you've got here. This little pipe is weathered very nicely. I like that kind of silver with the rust look. Little birdhouse here, that looks fun. How fun is that? And then kind of gives me a Mr. Rogers vibe is what it's giving me. The door looks awesome. The weathering on that looks so good. The doorknob also is looking very impressive. And these little tiles on the awning look awesome. The 7A sign kind of weathered so that it's, barely showing. This just looks really cool. And I'm not sure if we've showcased you before. So if we haven't, welcome. Look at this texture here. That looks awesome. That is a great additional feature to get a little bit different texture on your diorama. So the stucco here, that looks awesome. And you can just barely see the You can just barely see the rock on the pathway. That also is looking awesome. I wonder if there's a picture that shows it. We shouldn't skip though talking about the window, because the window looks awesome. Look at how did you get glass that has that kind of, it's got like a pebbling, marbling look to it. I'd love to know where you got glass like that. The weathering on the wood though looks so good. You did a great job with that. Just very impressed with this piece. So awesome job. Like I said, if this is your first time being showcased, welcome to the show. If you've been showcased before and I'm just not remembering, welcome back. Here's another one coming from Fanorama, the 100 Acre Woods. Little Winnie the Pooh action. This is a cool picture. I had to showcase it. I loved watching Winnie the Pooh growing up, and this just brings me back to my childhood. I didn't get to watch much for cartoons, but I did watch Winnie the Pooh every once in a while, and these look like they are custom figures. I don't think that these are figures that you can buy. They look like they're customized. I love all the grasses, the foliage. There's a lot of different color tones to all of this, the trees and what have you. That just is very, very fun. So I love seeing these kind of ACBA style pictures that you guys take with your diorama. So don't skimp on that. Keep posting those pictures. Use the hashtag This Week in Dioramas, even if you're not really trying to get something up on the show. That's not the only purpose for the hashtag. It's a great way for the community to be able to see your work. So use that hashtag for posting stuff like this. And sometimes I will showcase it too. And then last but not least, coming from Boba Chuck, latest diorama for sale, an evil cemetery. Tombstones and gates are magnetized, put a hole in it to give the rise from the dead effect. Perfect for the Mezco 112 collective scale figures. So if this is something you're interested in, I don't think he's updated it yet to show that it's sold, so it might still be available. DM him if you're interested. I really love the wrought iron gates that are surrounding this. This looks so good. The paint apps look awesome. Look at the kind of green mildew that's on some of these tombstones. That looks so good. Let's scroll through some of these pictures. Look at that. We've got all these horror figures in here looking awesome. Look at that picture. That is so cool. So if you could get a infinite black background too, that would be cool to just really make that stand out even better. Loving this thing though. The brickwork looks awesome. We got some mosses and some nice weathering on there. That looks so good. So if this is something, especially with Halloween coming up, this is going to be an awesome display piece that you could have on your coffee table when guests come over. They're going to see that and be like, wow, that is so cool. It's so unique. I've never seen anybody else have something like that. And that would just be amazing. Little rat there. That's freaking awesome. Great job on this piece. Great job to everybody. And thank you so much to everybody who's using the hashtag every week when you've got a new diorama to upload it to Instagram and tag it with the hashtag This Week in Dioramas. Makes it easier for me to be able to find your work. And it also makes it easier for people to be able to just find your work on Instagram and give you a like. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, all that jazz. Have a great weekend, and I will hopefully see you next week. Have a good weekend, everybody.